राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ऋषिकेश अध्यक्ष पालिका और मंजरी राधा मंजरी राग माता जी और सनातन गोकुल के निवास स्थान पे आज मध्याह्न काल के हरि कीर्तन और कथा में आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है। श्री रूप गोस्वामी ने भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु के भक्ति के साधन भक्ति के अंगों में 64 अंगों में 5 अंगों को सबसे प्रबल अंग बताया है। किस काम के लिए? साधन भक्ति का उद्देश्य क्या है? साधन भक्ति का उद्देश्य भाव भक्ति को प्रकट करना। और साधन भक्ति की जाती है मन, इंद्रियां और वाणी से। सो साधन भक्ति का उद्देश्य है भाव भक्ति को जागृत करना, जो हमारे हृदय में पहले से पड़ी है। तो वो 64 जो अंग है भक्ति के, आउट ऑफ दोज 5 आर मोस्ट पोटेंट, 5 बहुत प्रबल है। फॉर व्हाट? इवन ए न्यू डिवोटी कैन awaken his bhava bhakti. So what are the 5? And our Krishna conscious movement, Srila Prabhupada has installed all these 5 angas regularly in our practice. ये कौन से 5 अंग है याद करो? ABCD. Okay. A is association of the devotees. B is Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam, and C is chanting holy name, and D is deity worship. Dham was And then what? That's one way to say. I think if really we go Chaitanya Chaitamrita, the verse is very simple. If we memorize that verse, there's more. Like Sadhu Sangha Bhagavat Shravan Archa Vigraha Sri Murti Sadhya Sadhya Sanskrit by Rupa Goswami Dham was Mathura was a Pancha Parmal this is a Parmal Anga. So अब पांच याद किया कौन सा है? साधु संगा, hearing Bhagavatam, chanting holy name, and living in the holy dham and deity worship. And out of these five, in पांच में से most important कौन सा है? Chanting. Sadhu Sangha is most important. Out of the five, Sadhu Sangha is most important. All other four are more potent and powerful in Sadhu Sangha. So we are reading from Srimada Bhagvatam a verse about Sadhu Sangha, and this verse is spoken by Kapil Dev to Devoti Mataji and very often quoted verse by Srila Prabhupada. 3:25-25. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido Satam prasangam mama virya samvido Bhavanti hirtakarana rasayana katha Bhavanti hirtakarana rasayana katha Tajoshanadashva apavarga vartamani Sharadharati bhakti anukramashyati Satam prasangam mama virya samvido Bhavanti hirtakarna rasayana katha Tajoshanada swapavarga vartamani Shardharati bhakti anukram yashati Satam means devotees. Sat is Supreme Lord and Satam are the devotees. Satam means devotees. And before this verse, there are four verses who are the devotees. The qualities of the devotees are given. It means this is simply Satan Prasangam. And the Prasangam, Sri Prabhupada, through the association, Prasangam, Prakristena Rupena Sangha. Sangha means association and pra means Prakristena Rupena, which means fully or completely. Prakristena means completely. And a fully association of devotees. Srila Prabhupada writes, through the association, Mama, Krishna is speaking, Kapil Dev is saying, Mama means my, means Supreme Lord Krishna's or any of his incarnates. Virya means wonderful activities. My wonderful activities. Mama Virya. And then the next word is Samvido. Samvido word is Samvad. Samvad means Samyak, discussion between the two advanced devotees or between the spiritual master and a disciple is called samvad. Like Bhagavad Gita is samvad. Krishna Arjun samvad. So there are vada, vivad, there's a vitanda, there are different ways of talk. But the vad is the best. And it is between the two advanced devotees when they discuss about the absolute truth. That is called samvad. So the first line, the meaning of the first line is, in association, in a full association of the devotees, discussion of the pastime of Supreme Lord. The first line, Satam Prasangam Mamvirya Samvido. What is the advantage? Bhavanti Hirta Karana Rasayanaha Kathaha. Katha means the pastime of Lord. Bhavanti means become. Hirta Karana Rasayana. Hirta Karana Rasayana. Hirta means heart. Right? It's very simple. Hirta means Hirde. Karana means ear. And Rasayana means, it's like Ras means juice. It is a juice. It is a pleasing and nourishing juice. Katha is a juice. Katha is a amrit. Katha amrit, which is pleasing to the heart and ears. Ears to hear and heart to relish. You know, ears cannot relish. Ear can only hear. The relishment is by heart. So in full association of the devotees, discussion of the Krishna Katha is pleasing to the ears and the heart. And then third line says, what is the result of this? Tad joshanad. Tad joshanad means if we cultivate that, it means not once association. If we cultivate that association, it means if we continuously, regularly have those discussions. That's the meaning of tat doshana, joshanad. And then says, asav means then very quickly. Asav means very quickly. Very quickly, upvarga vartamani. Upvarga, you know, it's upvarg means liberation. And vartamani means like path. Path means path. The path for liberation will be open. So now if we associate with the dear devotees of the Lord and discuss Hari Katha, so it means the association of the devotee means hearing Krishna Katha. And this Krishna Katha is pleasing to the ear and heart. And immediately it will open, if we continually cultivate this process, then aso here means within this life. Immediately means within this life. Very quickly. And quickly here means within this life, because this eternity is long. So quick here is within this life. Path for liberation open. So pavarg and upvarg, you know pavarg and upvarg? No. You know Hindi? You have, in Sanskrit, ka, kha, ga, gha, na, you know this? So there is a pavarg, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, you know? That is called pavarg. And what is the meaning of pa, pha, ba, bha, ma? Parishram means hard labor. Pa is for hard labor. Pa is fan means getting foam coming out of the mouth by hard work and perspiration. Bha, pa, pha, ba, bharat. Everything ultimately is useless. Bha, always bhaya, fearful. Ma, and the mrityu means death. That's called pavarg. So pavarg is material world. Upvarg is liberation. A means no. No pavarg means liberation. So generally upvarg means liberation. Pavarg means material life. So this Krishna Katha will open the path for liberation from material conditioning. But liberation is not the goal. Liberation is like coming out of the jail. But if you are at a gate of the jail and you don't know anybody outside, where to go, what to do, then your coming out has no meaning. So liberation is not our goal. Then this association take us higher than that. What is that? It develops Shraddha, which is the beginning of the bhakti. Then Rati, which means bhav. And then bhakti, which means prem. All three. From Shraddha, which means sadhan bhakti, which awaken the bhav bhakti and mature into prem bhakti. Kramashyati, anukramashyati means with one after other. They come one after other. So this is a full, complete package. And Srila Prabhupada's purport, the first line you see, we are reading the translation by Srila Prabhupada first. In the association of pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada has put the word satam, pure devotees. Pure devotee. And when somebody sometime asks Srila Prabhupada, who is pure devotee? Sure, anybody who chants Hare Krishna is a pure devotee. But sometimes it says simply, anybody who chants Hare Krishna is a pure devotee. What is the second verse of Bhagavatam? The Mangalacharan verse? What is it? Number 2? No. First is Janamadhyasya and second is? Second verse of Bhagavatam. The word is Kaitava, but for the first line. Dhara maha projita kaitava nitnis manirmat nirmatsaranam satam. Their word satam is there. Yes. Before the word satam, there is a word nirmatsar. And that Srila Prabhupada writes 100% pure. If you read exactly, now you read that first, second, the satam, nirmatsaranam satam. So nirmatsar there means 100% pure. And then, so that is actually, that's the meaning of the pure devotion you take from Bhagavatam, then is satam, nirmatsaranam satam. Generally, nirmatsar means non-envious. Nir means no, matsar means envious. जो ईर्ष्यालु नहीं है, किसी में दोष नहीं देखते. लेकिन in that translation, Prabhupada is 100% pure. So here Satan, Prabhupada has taken nirmatsar. Because when Prabhupada is writing, there's something in his mind is also going on. So from where this word, why Prabhupada has put this word here, nirmatsara. It means those who are non-envious actually. And who are non-envious, then go to the next instruction. The Mahabhagavata, Ninda Adi Sonya. The one whose heart is free from enviousness. So now what is the definition of pure devotee? Mahabhagavata. And this, if we analyze exactly the word, then it is the three things you put together, then the puzzle is solved. So who is pure devotee? Mahabhagavata. Because he is not envious of anybody. And how can somebody be nirmatsar or free from enviousness? I'm telling you really, this real formula is if we are not envious of Krishna, then we will become non-envious to everybody. Because people are envious of Krishna, therefore they are envious of the whole everybody. The root cause is actually everybody is envious of Krishna because they want to enjoy. Krishna, why Krishna is enjoyed? We should be enjoyed. So first we have to be non-envious to Krishna, then we will be non-envious to the other people. So the whole problem is there's a top. The defect is at the top. We want to be enjoyed, therefore we want to compete. If you want to enjoy, then you want to compete. And competition means enviousness. So we have to learn to be cooperative rather than competitive. So, in association of pure devotees means Mahabhagavata. Discussion of pastime, which means Bhagavatam. And activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead and pastime. Srila Prabhupada has written, there's a mental culture of Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada has written, mental culture of Krishna consciousness is to discuss Krishna's pastime in Kurukshetra and Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan. This is nectar of devotion because the bhakti has to be done with the mind, words and body. So for mind, Srila Prabhupada has written there, mental culture of Krishna consciousness. And then he writes, always discussing Kurukshetra pastime means Bhagavad Gita. And Vrindavan pastime means Bhagavatam. So this is the practice of devotional service by mind, which means thinking always of Krishna's teaching and pastimes. So Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad actually. It's called mental culture of Krishna consciousness. Then Srila Prabhupada there also write the full page. After mental culture he comes to the Vani, which means how to use the tongue in Krishna consciousness. Then ultimately he says body. And for body he has written exactly, only after initiation body can be used in service of Krishna. Which means deity worship only you can do when you are initiated. Actually speaking, service to the Krishna is only possible when one is initiated. With that, the whole page, if you again go and see the nectar of devotion, I think most of the time I listen, we did Bhakti Shastri, but we forgot everything. Right? What is written on which page and how it is written there. So this is here, which means activities and pastime of Krishna means reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And then it's very pleasing and satisfying. It's pleasing, there's a lot of music which is pleasing to the ears, but it's not satisfying. It's not satisfying. But this is pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. So ear wants to hear something. If you hear Krishna Katha, then it is pleasing and satisfying. Otherwise you will hear something of this worldly things, which is always agitating, is not pleasing. And which is non-satisfying. If you hear, oh, that person has BMW car. If you hear that, is it pleasing to you or it is really putting you in the envious mode? What do you think? Oh, he has recently got the new Jaguar, Audi, something, this is what you think about that. This hearing is pleasing? No. Right? Immediately there's an envious feeling coming, right? Is envious feeling coming or not? How he got that? I am also doing same thing. I don't have that. What is this? So this mentality, when you hear that Krishna has, say, swift chariot, you are not envious because you don't want to compete with Krishna. You have nothing to do. So if you hear about Krishna, it is pleasing. If you hear about somebody, if you hear glories of Krishna, you will be happy. If you hear the glories of somebody else, you will be always agitated, right? And it's pleasing to the heart. Because Krishna is within the heart. He will be pleased when you hear his name and his pastime. So because he is pleased, you are also pleased. Actually, how we are pleased in heart and satisfied? Because Krishna is pleased. If Krishna is pleased, then we will be pleased. Otherwise, we will never be pleased. asked this question. I said, the other day we went to, I think, none of you were with us, no? You were with us. We went to this jewelry wala, right? Hirabai, right? We went first to Hirabai and then we went to the Devaji by Prakash Bhai's house. So at Hirabai's house, there was a small baby, Aishwarya. I say 6-year-old something. And then a small Siddharth. So I simply called those two boys, and I remember their name, Dheeraj, Aishwarya. I gave them some, one small gift. And a first moment. Second time I went to their house next day, the boy saw me. He was doing something, playing, but he just left. Then he came and he just came and embraced me. I mean, it's the first time I met. Yes, even me first. There's a second time we met. But he developed a sort of affection because I remembered his name. And then I called Siddharth, Aishwarya. They were really beaming. They're happy that somebody actually recognized us. When ordinary people, small child become happy when you call his name, how Krishna will be happy when we call his name. And when we really glorify Krishna, how he will be happy, how much he will be happy. And this is the second same verse of Bhagavatam. Avarudhyate. As soon as you make a decision, I am going to hear Krishna Katha. Even you have not yet reached there. That the verse goes like, Tatak Shusrushu Tatakshanat. If you desire to hear Krishna Katha, right at that time, Hridaya Avarudhyate, Krishna immediately become alert within the heart. Oh, he's going to hear my Katha. So Krishna will be really pleased. And Krishna is pleased, so we are automatically pleased. Tatta, Krishna is satisfied the whole world. Bhagavan Santush, Jagat Santusht. It's a very simple philosophy. You know this philosophy from the past time of Draupadi, right? Everybody knows Draupadi philosophy. Krishna is satisfied, everybody is satisfied. So really how we are satisfied with the heart? Because Krishna is satisfied. How Krishna is satisfied? Because we are hearing about Krishna. And Krishna is within our heart. He knows he's hearing about me, so he's happy. So actually hearing about Krishna is pleasing to Krishna. And because Krishna is pleased and satisfied, so we are pleased and satisfied. This is actually the philosophy. This is the essence. So, in the association of pure devotee, discussion of pastime and activities of the Supreme Personality of God is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and heart. By cultivating such a knowledge, cultivation means it's not, when you sow the seed, it's not that overnight you get the result. Cultivation is a process. Cultivation, I don't know in Hindi there's any word for this. There's no exact word for cultivation. It's agriculture. Generally it means agriculture. So here cultivation, in devotional terminology this word is very good. Because there's a bhakti lata bij, so a heart becomes the soil for bhakti lata to grow, so it is a cultivation. Now again you go back to what I am quoting this verse. Cultivation. Then go to the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Brahmanda Brahmite koi bhagivana jiva Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata bija. It is the mercy of the Krishna we get the spiritual master, and it is the mercy of spiritual master we get the seed of devotional service. Then I am asking you this question, what is the seed of devotional service? What is seed of devotional service? I mean, just you throw your idea, but whatever coming in your mind, it's not that everybody is perfect. We all have to learn.
That little mercy from Guru Maharaj, that little mercy which comes from Guru
Mercy.
Mercy,
in one sense you can say, Shardha Bindu Gurudev Diya. So what you are getting is Shardha. One thing is Shardha. Yes. Faith.
Developing interest in hearing Krishna Katha. Developing interest, getting interest in that.
Getting interest in developing Krishna consciousness.
Hearing Krishna.
Hearing, they will come. It is the next step.
Believing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality and we have to...
Believing that Krishna is Supreme Personality. The seed is given by the spiritual master. Now you just think what a spiritual master told you when he initiated you, for example. What he said? Follow the regular principles, chant holy name, go to the Mangalarti. So, actually seed of devotional service is rules and regulation of sadhana bhakti. When you read exactly in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the line written there is seed of devotional service is rules and regulation given by a spiritual master of sadhana bhakti. This is a seed. And then for seed to grow, you need to water. And Sharvana, Kirtana, Jale, Sinchana, Kore. Then we have to water. So here what we are doing is an association of devotee. We are cultivating the seed. Now you understand what is the meaning. Now its cultivation means. Now this word cultivation, now you can relate. That Gurudev has given us the seed of devotion. Now we have to hear an association of devotees to water this. Then this cultivation will be useful. Now it makes sense, right? Cultivation makes sense?
Yes.
Otherwise you just read cultivation, it never study what cultivation actually means. Right? So this is actually to analyze every word of Prabhupada's translation or purport has a really deep thought behind that. And until unless it's not really understood, then it will never stuck in our heart. It will just, then its current, it will not go deep into the heart. Dil mein nahi jayega wo. Therefore cultivation here means this is Sharvan Kirtan Jal. And then we are actually cultivating the Bhakti Lata Beej. Now we are reading, such knowledge one gradually become advanced. This is anukramasya. Gradually means step by step. Anukramasya. Become advanced on the path of liberation. Apavarga. And thereafter, he is freed and his attraction become fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begins. Now, if you speak these lines to the public, they said, after liberation, what is the need of all this? So, the pure Shuddha Bhakti start after liberation. And what is the evidence? Bhagavad Gita. Brahma bhuta prasannatmana sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. After one reaches to the stage of Brahma bhuta, then he can start really the para bhakti. Para bhakti means transcendental devotional service. Para bhakti mukti के बाद शुरू होती है. So what is here? So you get mukti and then you start bhakti. अब ब्रह्म भूत तक कैसे पहुंचते हैं वो भी भक्ति से पहुंचेंगे. लेकिन then up till that the bhakti is actually Vaidhi, then it becomes para bhakti means bhav bhakti. And prem bhakti is a para bhakti. This is not a material platform. So after mukti, bhakti starts. So what is the easiest way to become mukta? Now you take a different concept. थोड़ी देर के लिए इसको दूसरे दृष्टिकोण से देखो. हमारी भक्ति में श्रद्धा से हम शुरू करते हैं. If we start from श्रद्धा, आदो श्रद्धा, साधु संग, भजन क्रिया, यहां तक हमने कर लिया. We all came in contact with devotees. We accepted the spiritual master. We got the initiation. भजन क्रिया हो रहा है. अब क्या है? अनर्थ निवर्ति. इसमें बहुत टाइम लग रहा है. इससे मुक्त कैसे होंगे? Here Krishna Katha in association of devotee, you will be free from your path for liberation. Means you are free from unearth. Here meaning of liberation is, if we take in devotional mood, here the hearing Krishna Katha in association of devotee will immediately bring us above the stage of unearth nivritti. That is mukti. Because the next word is, we will have a rati, ruchi, and all these stages will automatically come. So this is another way to look at it. हम भाई भजन क्रिया कर रहे हैं, फिर हमारी मुक्ति कौन सी? मुक्ति from unearth. Right? We'll be free from unearth. And this is the, again we have to give proof, then say nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavad sevaya bhagavati uttam shlor bhaktir bhavati nashtki. So easily praya, almost 90% of all the unearth will be eradicated when we hear Bhagavatam in association of devotees, pure devotees. So now it makes sense. Now everything is in order, right? And then it says, then when he's freed from unearth. And his attraction means ruchi. Attraction means asakti. Can you just put those words now here? When he's freed from unearth, then his attraction becomes fixed. Fixed is nishta. Attraction is asakti. So, and then real devotion means bhav, rati. And devotional service means prem at a higher level. So this is all inclusive. So do you think this translation has a lot inside it or not? Huh? How much deep is it? This translation is how much deep it is. So it needs really explanation, right? Srila Prabhupada has given actually like everything in a sutra form. You have to go dive deep and get really, like if you are at the shore of the sea, you will only get the conch shell. But if you go into the depth of the ocean, then you will get the pearls, right? So actually, if superficially we will read, then we will not get really. Do you think you read this translation as such, you will get these different angles to reach to this depth? No, but there is everything here, right? Now Srila Prabhupada is writing, the process of advancing in Krishna consciousness and devotional service is described here. This is a process. The process of sadhana bhakti. Process is sadhana bhakti. In advancing Krishna consciousness means awakening bhava bhakti. The process means sadhana. And advancing means awakening bhava bhakti is given here. The first point is that one must seek the association of person who are Krishna conscious and who engage in devotional service. So while there are two words, first one should serve for the person who are Krishna conscious and who engage in devotional service. Now why these two words are written? Why Prabhupada can write those who are Krishna conscious, it can work, right? Why he has wrote these two lines? Now if you read Nectar of Instruction, one purport, Prabhupada has written, actually initiated by a bona fide spiritual master. Why he has written actually? Initiated by a spiritual master is a full sentence. Why he has put actually? And why he has put bona fide? Why not only spiritual master? And there, our relationship with devotees is different dealing. Those who are initiated, even if they are not engaged in devotional service, they are neophyte. They are Kanishta Adhikari. So, in association of those, you will not get this benefit. So, those who are engaged in Krishna, in devotional service, are Madhyam Adhikari actually. So, one should seek the at least Madhyam Adhikari. That's what actually it means. Why Prabhupada has put two things together. Because Krishna conscious people, and most people they are going also to the Krishna temple. I mean, and you can go and see, many people are going here to the Manama temple, there's a Krishna temple. That's why they are Krishna conscious, because they are going to Krishna. But are they practicing devotional service? No. Right? The second part, are they practicing devotional service? No. So actually, in the translation, in the purport, Prabhupada is not writing pure devotee. He is saying Madhyam Adhikari basically. These two apply to Madhyam Adhikari. He is initiated and he is fully engaged in devotional service. That is the definition of a Madhyam Adhikari. He is initiated and he is fully engaged in devotional service by the instruction of a spiritual master. That is Madhyam Adhikari. So at least one should associate with Madhyam Adhikaris. Otherwise, Kanishta will sit together and talk about what? They are devotees. You can see, so our own devotees, they sit together and talk anything of this world. That is not association. In Vrindavan हम कहते हैं, बहुत से लोग बाहर जाके बिहारीलाल के दुकान के ऊपर वो गर्मी में लस्सी पीते हैं, लेकिन that's not association. आप चलो आज बाहर कहीं जाके गोविंदा में भोजन करने जाते हैं, that's not association. The association means having Krishna Katha. That is what meaning of association is. So दूसरी line बहुत important, Krishna conscious and in devotional service. It means minimum Madhyam Adhikari, right? Without such association, one cannot make advancement. Simply by theoretical knowledge or study, one cannot make any appreciable advancement. Appreciable advancement. Why not only advance? What appreciable advancement means? Well, Prabhupada is putting some adjective. It must have some meaning. Right? Appreciable advancement. So what is appreciable advancement? Hare Krishna. Searching for you? Hare Krishna. Without such association of Madhyam Adhikari, only we live with the Kanishta Adhikari will not really make any appreciable advancement. What is appreciable advancement actually means? Anyway, you just throw some thought, why Prabhupada has put appreciable advancement? It means visible advancement. Appreciable means you can see he is advancing by his external behavior. And where you get all this nectar of instruction? The first 4 verses is the external behavior of a Madhyam Adhikari. So he is actually having the 6 good association. You can see that his utsaha, dharya, nischya, all these things. You can feel that outwardly. So that's actually, it means appreciable, means you can really note. Dadati, pratigananti, bhojati, bhunkati, all that you can see in that person. So appreciable means you can make a visible sign of that devotional advancement. I mean, in our regular preaching, when we go and meet different people house, we can really immediately judge that he is really advancing or where he is. Because of their way, behavior, every arrangement, it just give immediate information that they have a culture of devotion or not. The one is, Prabhupada, this morning I was in a class, I had 2 classes earlier before this. One was to the Bhakti Shastri student, other was the CC in the temple. So in first class, Prabhupada has written 3 things: education, culture and devotion. This is in the purport to the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse number 2. This science was given to the royal order because they institute education, culture and devotion for their citizen to free them from free them from the influence of lust. Because there is a third chapter. By imparting knowledge of Krishna consciousness. But three things: education, culture and devotion. Srila Prabhupada has given education to the students. He gave culture to them, how to dress, how to eat, how to cook. And he gave devotion, the sadhana bhakti, follow rules and regulation. So three things are needed: education, culture and devotion. So this is what, then theoretical knowledge or study, one cannot make appreciable. Theoretical knowledge means reading books. And practically, if you have to say, even in modern educational system, you buy a book of doctor medical from a store and you read at home, can you become doctor? Huh? You buy a book of engineering and you read at home, will become engineer? No. You have to go to at least a authorized professor who have already studied that, and go to the to authorized university. Even you can get a professor on a private tuition, but if you don't go to the university, you will not get a degree. So now you need books, you need teacher, and you need institute. So the books are available. Then you need the professor or associate, the devotee associate, which is like a professor. Then that devotee must be in an institute. That is a parampara. Then it works. The result only comes when it has all three stages, three things accomplished. The three things needs to be worked out, then the purpose is achieved. Otherwise, it will be of no use. It's not advancement appreciable. One must give up the association of materialistic person and seek the association of devotee. Now this is Srila Prabhupada, you have to associate. You are a social animal, you cannot live without association. आपको किसी के साथ तो रहना पड़ेगा. Or Prabhupada used to say people don't have anything to associate, they keep the dog and cats because they need association. हाँ, कुत्ता बिल्ली का संग करते हैं, नहीं? बहुत से लोग दुनिया में, अब अमेरिका में जागते देते हैं, सारी बूढ़ी माताएं बूढ़े पाए कुत्ते को पकड़ के घूमते रहते हैं. ना बेटा है ना बेटी, सब भाग गए कुत्ते. और विल भी कुत्ते के नाम करके जाते हैं कि सब संभाल कुत्ते को मिले. कुत्ते का भी कितना अच्छा कर्म है, बड़ी मर्सिडीज गाड़ी में घूमता है. कुत्ते का भी कुछ तो अच्छा कर्म होगा. कुत्ते की जूनी में भी कितना उसको ऑपुलेंस मिला है. Hare Krishna. So, one must give up the association of materialistic people and seek the association of devotee, because now Srila Prabhupada is saying you have to associate. Every day you have to associate with somebody. Now you have to give up the material association and get a devotee association. Why? The reason is given. Without association of devotees, one cannot understand the activities of the Lord. Because devotees have faith. भक्तों को श्रद्धा होती है. उनके पास जाएंगे तो हमारे को भी श्रद्धा मिलेगी. Materialistic people और devotees में बहुत बड़ा difference है. So if we associate materialist people, we will never have a faith in the activities of the Lord. But we associate with devotees because they have a faith. That's like a very simple thing. Prabhupada used to say in a positive of the negative thing. If you communicate, if you sit with the people who are infected with corona, then you will get corona. Right? Similarly, if those who are infected with Krishna consciousness, you sit with them, you will get Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada used to give the positive, this is called contagious disease. The positive aspect of the Krishna consciousness as a contagious disease. भक्तों के संग में जाओगे तो भक्त बन जाओगे. Very simple. Generally, people are convinced of the impersonal feature of the Absolute. But now people say, Prabhupada is saying, even those who are religious people, they only know the Nirakar Brahm. absolute impersonal feature, Nirakar, Nirvisesh, because they do not associate with the devotees. They are dry speculators. They want to remain alone. They don't associate, therefore they don't understand. They cannot understand that this absolute truth can be a person and have personal activities. This is very difficult subject matter. Unless one has personal understanding of the absolute truth, there is no meaning to devotion. So Prabhupada is saying, people may believe in God, but if they don't know God is a person, then all your activities are not actually much advancement. And it is very difficult. I just give one example. I think, let us read this whole. But usually I never read the purport, I just go line by line. Non-devotees cannot appreciate Krishna consciousness by reading Srimada Bhagvatam or any other Vedic literature wherein the activities of the Lord are described. They think that these activities are fictional, manufactured stories, because spiritual life is not explained to them in a proper mood. What is proper mood? To understand the personal activities of the Lord, one has to seek the association of devotee, and by such association, when one contemplates and tries to understand the transcendental activities of the Lord, the path of liberation is open and he is freed. One who has firm faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead become fixed, and his attraction for association with the Lord and the devotees increases. Association with devotees means association with the Lord. The devotees who make this association develop the consciousness for rendering service to the Lord, and then being situated in transcendental position of the devotional service, he gradually becomes perfect. So every line needs really elaborate explanation, but I think the time is getting 1 o'clock maybe. What Srila Prabhupada is writing here, proper mood. Proper mood means service attitude. Proper mood means service attitude. Because most of the monist means those who think that Advaita philosopher, the follower of Advaita path, they have no service attitude, they have enjoying mood, I want to be God. So when they have what mood? Enjoying mood. I am God, you are God, everybody is God. That is their philosophy. Main Bhagwan, tu Bhagwan, sab Bhagwan. Right? This is their philosophy. And Prabhupada sarcastically once have a remark. If some woman is asked, who is your husband? And if she tells everybody is my husband, is it a wise answer? Yeah? And Prabhupada said, this is prostitute answer. So those who say everybody is God, what is their position? They are all spiritually prostitute actually. They don't know what is the purpose of life. कोई जिंदगी का मतलब का मालूम ही नहीं है उनको. You are God, then why you are rotting here? क्या जरूरत है? आपको God है तो बहरीन में क्यों आए? तो घर बैठे रहते ना. यहाँ भी कहते हैं हम God है, यहाँ आके भी कहते हैं हम God है. तो मैं भगवान हो गया. So this is the proper mood means service attitude. Those who have given up the mood of becoming God and those who have developed the service mood towards the Lord and towards the devotees. And then Prabhupada says meeting Lord, devotee means meeting Lord. It means devotee is a pathway to meet to the Lord. If you meet devotee, you are definitely going to meet the Lord, because devotion is given by devotee, and by devotion you can meet God. So this equation is very simple. Meeting devotee is meeting God, means devotee will give you devotion and devotion will make you meet God. And then one will be free from the misconceptions of impersonal Brahma, and then he will develop attraction for personal God. And that attraction will culminate in devotional ecstasies. And that is the bhav and prem. Rati is a other name for bhav, bhakti, which means we are so much connected with Krishna that we relish it that we don't know what's going around in the world. And then prem will manifest, and then we'll have a blissful life. And that prem is Krishna Akarshan. It will attract Krishna. And when it attracts Krishna, then we are blissful. So association of devotees is most important for advancing in Krishna consciousness. And what is the association? Discussing Krishna Katha and association. It means ultimately it is the Krishna Katha which advances us. And that is through devotee, because devotees speak that Katha. So who is actually advancing us? Krishna Katha. Because it's a mama virya. This is my potency of the Krishna Katha and Krishna's name, but it is through devotee. So devotee association is most important. Thank you very much. Any question or comment? I think we have done 54. It's not 1 hour yet. Hare Krishna. Kahan gaya Rakshita? Kahan bhej diya?
Rakshita?
Hey, she is there. Any question? Comment?
If someone have no association, if someone is in Saudi or some other place, or some person is going to be in the bed, he cannot hear or something. So how?
It is his karma.
No,
It is his karma. What can we do? It is his karma that he is in some place where he is not getting association. Why somebody is born in a Eskimo's icy land where he never sees the vegetable to eat? It is his karma. So ultimately, again, when your answer to your question is because he don't have sukriti. He has not yet developed sukriti, because this verse, again, I am going back to the second verse of Bhagavatam. He developed desire to hear Krishna Katha. The word is kriti bhi. Only when he has sukriti. It means if he has pious credit of devotion, then he will only desire to hear Krishna Katha. तो उसके पास क्रेडिट अभी इकट्ठे ही नहीं हुए हैं, तो कथा सुनने का उसको he will not get the opportunity to hear कथा. कोई बहरा है, नहीं सुनेगा, is a dam, is a deaf, तो अब क्या करेंगे? This is his karma. Somebody is blind, then how he can see the deities? But still, if he open his heart, eye of his mind, then he can see. Like Bilba Mangal Thakur and Surdas, they were not having eyes, but still they have composed so nice books. And so it's not the material ear and eye are important. It's actually heart which needs transformation. And that's also by the mercy of the God and his pure devotees. If we have a desire for devotee association, then always we will get. It depends upon our desire. If really we desire, so we should have this only one desire, that we must get association of devotee. Throughout Bhagavatam, all those who met directly Lord, face to face, they are only requesting one thing. Please, Krishna, grant us association of devotee wherever we are. Throughout the Bhagavatam, after even seeing Lord by your devotion, only their prayer is we should get association of the devotees. सब कहते हैं हमें भक्तों का संग चाहिए. Again and again, same thing one. The only rare thing in this world, Mahaprabhu said, is devotee association. सबसे दुर्लभ है भक्तों का संग. This is the rarest thing in this world. And सबसे दुख की बात है भक्तों के संग से दूर रहना. दुख क्या है बड़े से बड़ा दुनिया में? महाप्रभु से पूछा, but to be away from the devotee association. That is the greatest suffering. So we must desire we must develop desire to associate with devotees. इसके लिए उत्साह चाहिए, eagerness चाहिए. Then Krishna within the heart knows your eagerness. Then he will also send the person, because he is living in his heart also, he says, go and give them association. These hippies were searching for peace of mind in America in the 60s. They said, well, nothing is here good. We want really something higher than this. So Krishna understood within their heart that they are searching for something non-material. And then the Prabhupada was inspired to go to the America and give them Krishna consciousness, because they were searching for something ultimately. And the British people are not searching there, so Prabhupada did not go there. But there were no hippies there, they were not. So ultimately Krishna from within heart knows what you are looking for, then he will provide you that. So if we want really devotion, then he will send the devotee. He is in his heart also. So if we desire, we can get.
One more question. What happens is that amongst grihasthas, most brahmacharis, anathas and sannyasis, they are in the temple. Grihasthas, they have children also. So in the name of entertainment for children, our devotee association, when we come together, little we discuss Krishna Katha. But then the main focus is watching some movie, going outside or taking outdoor or some other. That's all. Then finally it is diluted. We don't focus on Krishna Katha.
This is called little lessons for the grihastha for enjoyment should not be taken as a granted. Even Prabhupada says there is an accident on a rail road. So if we are not really very conscious in our grihastha life about the seriousness of Krishna consciousness, we take it granted, then the advancement will not be appreciable. So like this, we should have a Krishna Katha, and there should be something for children also to watch. Some nice, maybe they want to watch movie, then we have so many wonderful Krishna Katha movies also. There's a coloring book, there's a lot more for them also. And we should relish Krishna Prasad and have this type of Sangha regularly among Grihasthas. I think Grihastha will advance mostly if they themselves are serious. Because the coming of the brahmachari and sannyasi, for a time being, give them maybe a little boost, but still they think they are a different class, we are a different class. We cannot be them like that. So we don't take them really at par. And Prabhupada's time, basically speaking, the ISKCON was within the temples. But now the ISKCON is outside more than in the temple. So now we need really new strategies really to accommodate the developing congregation in a more Krishna conscious mood. So this is, I think Grihastha has to devise this, because temples cannot devise this, because it's not their business. Because temples are fully focused on the brahmacharis. This is temple's business. And whatever the rules they make, it is for those who are in-house devotees. Therefore, the congregation has to really develop their own. And Prabhupada has written even in 7th canto, for the Grihastha ladies, for reading Bhagavatam, the best time is 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Because the children have come from school, because still the male are outside on work, they have a free time, they can have their own classes. So Prabhupada has given some hint about Grihasthas, how they can practice Krishna consciousness. And the best, two places, one place is in Bhagavatam, 14th chapter of 7th canto about the Grihastha ashram. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to Kulin Gram, how the Grihastha, they should do only two things: Krishna Kirtan and Vaishnava Sevan. Sigarpaya Krishna, only two things. So what we should focus on, Krishna Kirtan and Vaishnava Sevan, means association of devotees. So I think what your question, answer to your question is, like here you congregation discuss actually, how can we have some quality time for our Krishna conscious association? Some quality time. I mean, I know, like Yatra, I know this Damodar Duvai, this devotee, they always, in vacation they plan Yatra. This year they have planned Yatra for, say, Ramayana Yatra, the pastime places of Ramayana. So at least 15 days they are focused. Now from now they are reading. where we are going, so the whole so mood is set up. So similarly, in vacation you just plan some 10 families that we are going this place, that place. So this will set a mood, and children want to go to play somewhere for excursion. Better to go to some holy places where you can get really history of the devotion in India and all the pastimes. So in this way you design your own. I think that there must be Grasta ministry in this ISKCON and they must work for that. But I don't think that nothing is developed yet, as far as I know. All congregations are doing whatever on their own. But appreciable advancement is not visible mostly. I mean, that's what we are travelers, we know everywhere we see. They are endeavoring, they are struggling, but they are not really, because there is no system set for them. Actually speaking, there is no system. Somehow, this Corona has put a little online system, has made at least awareness. Because I know Nityam Bhagvat in Dubai, Nityam Bhagvat in a Srinathji temple, say 20 minutes every day, 25 minutes they were running, were discussing one verse, and there were 10 devotees. Now their Nityam Bhagvat is over 100 devotees. Online, still they are continuing. Same time, say 7:30, say they are 7:30 to something like 8 or something, 8:30. But they are continuing this Nityam Bhagavatam. So if you are not able physically to go to the temple, make some arrangement, at least some group, their own Zoom group. I mean, in this lockdown time, I finished the whole Bhagavad Gita with some group. I finished almost 10th chapter, all prayers of Bhagavatam with them. So every day they were ready, they were coming at 7 o'clock in the evening. So somehow I think we should learn from this bad Corona some good aspect, that how can we be communicated and in a Grasta development ourselves we should do. I think somehow we can figure out Bhagavatam class every day. Some time fixed, maybe for the ladies separate, maybe for the gents separate, whatever. If we want, we can do that. And similarly, we can have some more practices of devotional service, yatras and other things. That will help actually a cohesive effort for the devotees to be more Krishna conscious. And like this meetings, once a week somewhere will make more things solidify in Krishna consciousness. Yes.
This is, you said in the class that, seed, watering the seed basically is said Harikatha in association of devotees. If Harikatha is not heard in association of devotees, it is heard alone, then is there a visible or appreciable difference in hearing Harikatha in association and hearing the same Harikatha from a pure devotee online or on?
Definitely it has an effect, but because personal, this is something like, they say book Bhagavat and person Bhagavat. What is the difference between two? So there's no difference, but there's one difference. Some jokingly said, Purusha Bhagavat can give prasad, but book Bhagavat cannot give prasad. So online we have a nice feast for you, but those who are listening online, there's no feast for them. So half of devotion is available to them, but half is not available. Because we have Kirtan and Prasad. Kirtan is available for them, Prasad is not. So they will make half advancement. Is it okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes.
How can one get Sukruti? Like Hiranyakashipu and others, how can they get?
Oh, they are not the ordinary people. They came from Vaikuntha. They are pastime people.
That is pastime.
Yeah.
Other people.
Other people, Sukriti is something like that. I'm saying, if some devotee is going, if I'm going out right now, well, I'm old man, sometime I'm not able to cross road, I'm standing. Some person who don't know me, if he help me and take me on the other side, he is getting a pious credit of helping a sadhu. That will be in his account. And sometime, somebody who even don't know me, and it happened sometime. I was just I think Tashkent the airport. I was not knowing anybody, and somebody just gave me a bottle of water. I just, he said, yes, and some sadhu is sitting and he may need water because he's in transit. He just gave me water. So he got some pious credit by doing some tangible service. In this way, when this pious credit accumulate, then he get association of devotee. And then when he hear from the devotee his instruction, then the devotion is start.
So no pious credits, they cannot even be found.
Sri Rupa Goswami says, many lifetimes pious credit when accumulated, then the person get association of a devotee. Otherwise, here you can see so many people around us, but they are not actually coming to because their pious credit are not yet there. अब उनके अकाउंट में उतना नहीं है माल. And all those people, life members, all those donors, they are getting pious credit. There is accumulating in them. They will come one day to devotion, definitely. So कुछ थोड़ों को सबको थोड़ा सा मौका देना चाहिए. Some way. So we should give facility people that they can render some service and get pious credit.
Guruji, was talking about pious credits. I was thinking always when the culture is very strong, like basically when we teach our children, when you see a sadhu, when you see a hell, that culture actually has in the previous times has easily able to make, so we have already learned that when you see a sadhu, we do right. But now the new generation which is coming up, they don't have that culture. So we feel that the chance for them to actually make their pious credit or to actually have their Agyat Sukriti will be extremely challenging compared to a generation before.
Therefore, Prabhupada wanted Gurukuls to be started. Even ISKCON in 60s, he wanted to start Gurukul, and we are still failure. Because we think our children are now grown up, why should we make an endeavor? Every Grasta wants that we need a Gurukul, as long as their children are not 10 years, and then they said there's no need of Guru. So nobody is serious in this really Krishna consciousness to establish the educational system. This is a problem. Prabhupada wanted this, but it's not happening. We are not successful on certain fronts in Krishna consciousness. In self-sufficient farm communities, we are not what Prabhupada wanted us. Every temple must have a farm community. We are not still having. We wanted Gurukuls, which are almost failure all over the world. All ISKCON Gurukuls are failure. They are now hodgepodge Gurukuls, mix this, that. But there's no good tangible results you can see. We should accept this. And it's a challenge. Somebody has to take it. Well, brahmacharis are and sannyasis are not interested because they don't have a children. Why should they? Prabhupada was the only sannyasi. He wanted to have a Gurukul, but no other is interested because it's not their headache. And the Grasthas, their children are grown up, then they think, oh, it is not our headache. So ultimately, who will do this? I think some one prastha they should be the best teachers, and they should start the educational system. A well-trained Grasta, when he retired, then they are the best teachers. Why our Gurukul failed? Because there was no Guru Mata. There were only brahmacharis teaching. It was not their business. There was no Guru Mata. All the Gurukul means Guru and Guru Mata. If there is no Guru Mata, then the emotional side of the student is not taken care. Only discipline side is taken care. So he become hard and he will just run away. And that's what happened to our Gurukulis. So we have to learn from this mistake and really we need somebody dedicated to work on that. But this is a big job. I think somebody has to do in ISKCON. Something small they are doing, but let us see what are the result in the future. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.